Welcome back to the Tower Tech. If you're new here, we're all about VR headsets, peripherals and PCs in general. Consider subscribing. We've got loads of great content coming up. So today we are taking a look at the Vive Pro 2. This is the third iteration, potentially the fourth if you include the Cosmos of HTC's Vive lineup, and is the successor to the Vive Pro, which was released in the first half of 2018. It boasts an incredibly impressive 2448 by 2448 pixels per eye. That is the highest resolution headset that we have tested, and has ditched the OLED panel of its predecessor in favor of a dual RGB low persistence display. Now, the deep blacks aren't going to be present here, but what that has allowed HTC to do is boost the refresh rate up to 120 Hz. It also features a double-stacked lens design, which HTC claim gives a horizontal field of view of 120 degrees, albeit with a small sacrifice of vertical field of view due to the lens design shape, which is flat at the top and bottom. The Vive Pro 2 uses all the same injection molded parts as its predecessor. It's, for all effects and purposes, a Vive Pro with upgraded lenses and upgraded displays. It still has a good, smooth mechanical IPD adjustment. You're still able to move the lenses closer and further away from your eyes in order to balance comfort with field of view. It includes the same over-ear headphones and microphone, and the headset's pretty well balanced actually. It's got a good range of adjustment. It's really easy to get comfortable. It's got nice thick foam on the front and the back, so it's comfortable on your face, albeit I have to say that this foam is an absolute sweat sponge in a way that I've never seen on a headset before. The headset uses the excellent Steam VR tracking system, albeit HTC only sell this headset on its own. So in addition to the headset, which comes in at a whopping $800, you will need a version 1 or version 2 Lighthouse tracking system, as well as some controllers. You can opt for the Vive ones. My recommendation would be to lean towards the Valve Index Knuckles controllers. In the box, you will find a breakout cable, a DisplayPort cable, USB cable, headphone blanks, a mini DisplayPort adapter, and a cleaning cloth. So when you add in the base stations and the controllers, the price really does start to stack up. You've got the headset at $800. You need two. Let's say you're going version 2 base stations. They're $149 each. And the Knuckles controllers are $279 each. So that's a whopping nearly $1,400, which is a very big amount of money to find. So not cheap by any stretch. The most expensive headset I have personally tested, but as HTC have said, this is intended for professionals. But with all that said, we are talking about the highest resolution headset that we've tested, best in class Steam VR tracking. So how did we find the headset? Well, starting first with the setup. Historically, we've had a whole heap of problems with HTC's software causing blue screens of death. We think that's related to the fact that we're on the AMD Threadripper platform, but I'm really pleased to say we haven't seen any of that this time around. It picked up our external base stations really quickly, and once the Valve Index controllers were in pairing mode, it picked those up really quickly as well. There were some initial niggles with the headset. There was some hissing noise on the headphones and at 120 Hz, which we had a little bit of trouble initially getting the headset into. There was some ghosting that was very present, but we had 3 quick updates that came out: a firmware update for the headset, a update to the software, which was already installed because we've had the Vive Cosmos on test in the past, and then Steam VR itself did an update to the headset, and that was all within the first 12 hours of having the headset. And I'm really pleased to say that all of those problems were gone immediately. We tried a wide range of different games, including Beat Saber, of course, Half-Life Alyx, Elite Dangerous, The Lab from Steam, and it's really, really hard not to be genuinely impressed with this headset. I've tried a lot of VR headsets, I reviewed a lot on YouTube, and it's like the HP Reverb G2 and the Valve Index have got together, and that this headset is their love child. The display is sensationally impressive. The colors pop. Clearly the resolution is the highest that we've tested, so there's absolutely no screen door effect on here at all. Coupled then that with the really wide field of view, and it is noticeably wider, and I didn't particularly notice the reduced vertical field of view. I did in a couple of instances, like the white screen at the beginning of Half-Life Alyx, but generally I found I was just absorbed into just how beautiful the graphics looked and how impressive the immersion of the headset was. Those over-ear earphones are very, very comfortable, actually, and you know, they're probably not quite as crisp and sharp as the Valve Index, albeit I think the bass is deeper, and I think really you're trading off different experiences here, right? The Valve system, which you've got on the Index and the G2, because it's off of your ear, helps you stay connected to the world around you. Actually, the Vive Pro 2 does the complete opposite, which kind of closes you in, which you could argue deepens the immersion of your VR experience. So I think it's really down to the personal preference of what you are after, but we were phenomenally impressed with this headset. You know, that crisp, sharp Steam VR tracking with those visuals really is difficult to fault. The games like Beat Saber and Half-Life Alyx were just renewed. It's the most fun I've had in VR for a very, very long time indeed. The headset's not perfect by any means. The build quality isn't, in my opinion, as good as the Valve Index. There was a noticeable amount of creaking as you were making adjustments on the headset's fine once it's on. As I've mentioned, the foam is an absolute sweat magnet, and the microphones, I mean, it actively advertises this dual microphone system, which is horrible, frankly horrible sounding microphones. But if I'm honest, you very quickly forgot about all of these because the visuals were just stunning, and it is like the G2 but with really, really good tracking. And clearly it's significantly more expensive. You know, it's almost 5 times the price of the Quest 2. It is nearly 3 times the cost of the HP Reverb, and 50% more cost than the Index. But it really is, frankly, that combination of the Valve Index controllers and this headset, candidly, is the best VR experience I have personally had. So who is this headset really for? HTC are marketing it towards the professional community. I would say that if you are an existing Steam VR owner, if you've got the original Vive or potentially the Vive Pro or the Valve Index, and you want to upgrade your visuals but don't want to compromise with the not as good tracking that you would find on the Reverb G2, then and frankly you've got money burning a hole in your pocket, then this is probably who this headset is intended for. I would not recommend this headset for newcomers to the VR experience. I think, frankly, the Quest 2 is going to be the best choice for newcomers. But if you want the absolute best of the best and you're prepared to pay for it, this headset is that without a doubt. You're going to need an extremely beefy PC to drive this, particularly if you want to enjoy the 120 Hz, but at this resolution, at that refresh rate, this is a thing of beauty to enjoy. So, in conclusion, what has this headset got going for it? It's got the best-in-class VR display that we've seen, 120 Hz, the excellent Steam VR tracking, and in our opinion, a good audio solution as well. Against it, it's a very, very steep price tag indeed. Lower build quality than we've seen on other devices, and an absolute sweat magnet for the foam, albeit that's relatively simple to solve with an inexpensive Plu leather replacement from a company such as VR Cover. So overall, we've given this a score of 78%, a really excellent headset, but far too expensive. So there we go, guys. That is the Vive Pro 2. As always, I hope you're very well wherever in the world you are. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next one.